And we welcome Dot. Thank you.
Thank you, Amy. Thank you, dear friends and brothers and sisters here. I think I've had too much coffee, and just to let you know ahead of time, my mind doesn't actually work in a linear way. It kind of is a gestalt. And so I could talk a long time about this, and I'm going to ask Amy to, I would like to leave like 15 or 20 minutes for discussion in small groups afterwards with a question. So Amy, if you can let me know when there's a few minutes left that I can wind myself up or down.
Okay, so we basically want 15 to 20 minutes at the end for a group when you're done with your
Right.
Okay.
Right. And then room for the final just prayer and all. Yeah.
Okay, right on.
Okay, thank you. So I will be sharing my screen, and let me know if you can see a PowerPoint.
Yeah.
Okay. This, for me, is the essence of being Franciscan. And it's an ongoing charism for me of changing and growing over time. So, and it's, for me, it's about letting the Gospels enter more deeply into my very being. The way I show up in the world, how I perceive things, how I interpret people, events, what do I allow to touch and move my heart, choices I make, how I spend my time, my energy, who I hang out with. All right. And so this is from Article 7 of the rule. United by our vocation as brothers and sisters of penance, and motivated by the dynamic power of the gospel, let us conform our thoughts and deeds to those of Christ by means of that radical interior change which the gospel calls conversion. And we need to do this daily. This is how we are as human beings. We don't stay stuck and frozen in time. This is something we work on ongoingly. Article 14. Secular Franciscans, together with all people of goodwill, are called to build a more fraternal and evangelical world so that the kingdom of God may be brought about more effectively. So let's just pause a minute. This idea of people of goodwill. I may think I'm a person of goodwill, but is that how other people perceive me? Do I think that all people have goodwill in some way, even if I don't understand what goodwill looks like for them? We're trying to build a more fraternal and evangelical world. Fraternal, how can we see one another as brothers and sisters, children of God with one Father, one Creator? Evangelical, bringing the good news. What is the good news? We are loved. We are forgiven 70 times 7. Can we do that for other people? What do we think the kingdom of God looks like? I think of the parables, a mustard seed, a pearl of great price, leaven in the dough, sowers of seeds just scattered indiscriminately all over the place. The guy who threw a banquet ended up inviting everybody from the highways and the byways. Is bringing about this kind of kingdom something we truly long for? Something we're willing to base our lives on and change our lives in service of this? Does this look like a marmot of goodwill sorry about that. So Pope Francis in his Angelus just this year, so often we hear that one's identity is expressed in terms of opposition. So as followers of Christ, are we known more for what we are opposed to than by what we are for? Let's see. How easy it is to become convinced that our perceptions, our opinions, our perspectives and experiences of life are the only valid ones out there. Who and what and for? And how do I show them? They'll know we are Christians by our love. Does my life reflect these efforts to support and nurture what I'm for? Potential remedies for what I see as wrong or unjust. And also, can I stay humble? Can I sometimes hold the opposites, hold a paradox, let myself become a little converted in some way, have some understanding of where these other ideas and opinions are coming from? Might there be a third way? Might I be judging others by standards that I myself would find difficult to meet? As they would say, the Pharisees, they're putting heavy burdens on people and not lifting a finger to help them. Thinking other people should be different from the way they are. Well, in truth, I know I myself am a hypocrite in one way or another. I am not living out perfectly what I say I believe in. And why should I think everybody else should? Okay, here's the end of the talk. From that great, unbeknownst to her, Franciscan, Madeleine L'Engle. We draw people to Christ not by loudly discrediting what they believe, by telling them how wrong they are and how right we are, but by showing them a light that is so lovely that they want with all their hearts to know the source of it. And we aren't the source of it either. We point to Christ, the human face of God. As Claire would say, we're mirrors of Christ. By the grace of God, we try to become channels of this. That's our prayer, becoming channels of patience and forgiveness and understanding and consolation. So I'm going to hope to keep back to this slide, even if I don't keep showing it, but it's the main idea. And I'm talking to myself as much as to anybody else because I need this too. Can't find my little echo. Oh, dear me. Okay, now I have a song for you guys. I will try to make it pop up on YouTube, so I'm going to stop this share and try to reshare with the other one. Okay. Hi. So as we reflect on this, the first time I heard this was when I was in college, actually. And the words are very simple. Spirit of the living God, fall afresh on me. Melt me, mold me, fill me, use me, and then repeat it. Now the song will repeat it 3 times using the word me. But when I first learned it, the first time we talked about fall afresh on me, the second prayer was fall afresh on us, and the third one was fall afresh on all. So if we can try to keep that in mind, do I want the Spirit to fall afresh on all, or do I secretly hope God will clobber some of the all, or smite some of the all, Or do I really believe that God's Spirit is accessible to all and offered to all? Okay, I'm gonna, let's see. I can see Lee Parker. Can you do a thumbs up if you hear the music? Do you hear it?
No.
Not yet. Oh, heck. I wonder how I can fix that. Oh, I know what. I remember. I go up here. Okay. Share computer sound. I'm ready. Do you hear it? Okay.
Spirit of the living God, fall afresh on me. Melt me, mold me, fill me, use me. Spirit of the living God, fall afresh on me. Spirit of the living God, fall afresh on me. Spirit of the living God, fall afresh on me. Melt me, mold me, fill me, use me. Spirit of the living God, fall afresh on me. Spirit of the living God, fall afresh on me. Spirit of the living God, fall afresh on me. Melt me, mold me, fill me, use me. Spirit of the living God, fall afresh on me.
Any comments so far? Oh, heck. Let me try to make it stop. Okay. Oh, thank you for the heart. I still have 4 slides to go. Anybody want to say anything right now?
That was lovely.
Thank
Just
you.
love it.
Okay, back to you, share. Oh, thank you. I did it myself. I just passed it on. All right. Let's see. Okay. I like to think in these, I guess because of the Trinity. So I think of asking the Spirit to fall afresh on me through prayer, fall afresh on us, the community of faith, community of believers that gather together, and fall afresh on all through service. It has to overflow and pour back out to the world. And the circle goes around and sometimes it goes backwards this way. People we're serving actually nourish my spirit. I learn more from them than I could ever learn any other way. And then I've also, this visual gives a little bit of nuance to the idea of the 2 feet of love and action. and I didn't make this up, I heard it from several other sources. So one is when you break down service, it can be direct service, like one-to-one, our family, our neighbors. Maybe it can be volunteering at a soup kitchen, a clothing drive, St. Vincent, like, you know, one-to-one stuff. Okay, then kind of being part of an organizational service, healthcare system, education, public safety, the church, all kinds of things where there's an existing organization, there's a structure that probably needs some conversion itself, but we can try to be a light in there and say, okay, I'm not going to say that because some CEOs at the top of the food chain are arrogant and entitled and rip people off. Okay, but not all of them. And even if there are, I can do my part. You know, the same thing with, we don't say some people with any kind of authority, you know, say in the church, are not where we would like to see the, we don't think it's a full representation of the kingdom yet, but not everybody's that way. There are people of goodwill. Okay, so we contribute and learn as we can here. And then there's probably a smaller amount of people that might be called the prophetic area of advocacy. And we can see this little way somebody tells a racist joke and you make a comment about it, or you don't contribute to it. You know, that can be a small way. It can be to the point of maybe writing a letter or calling a congressperson for something that's dear to your heart. It might be thinking, I would like to add my voice and my physical presence to a group of other people in a peaceful showing of what we support. And people at any extremes, you can go to any extremes in either way. And I'm gonna share a little personal story about it next. But the whole truth of it is we have to be grounded in prayer. We need a community to hold our feet to the fire and help us not go off like a cat in one angry direction, you know, but to keep us grounded in love. So I want to tell a little story. The details are not important. Okay, this is the gestalt of my life. Forget the details. I'm sorry?
Can you, you're breaking up a lot when you're speaking. I can't hear you very well.
All right. I am sitting in front of my computer. Can you hear me better now?
Well, yeah, you're fine. And then all of a sudden it just kind of breaks up and
It breaks
I
up.
don't know what it is, but don't worry about it. I just.
All right. Let me, yeah, I wasn't aware. I'll see if other things are turned off. Is that, I don't know. I will try to speak louder and project myself, which is uncomfortable for me, but out of love for you, I will try. Is this better?
Yes.
Okay. So Amy, stop me if I ramble too much. I think I only have 2 more slides after this.
And you have plenty of time, Dot. Take your time.
Okay, okay. So the beginning picture, you could think of me in college, living away from home, naive and do-gooder and fools rush in kind of mode. And so I'm with people who read the book Diet for a Small Planet. And it came out, I don't know, I guess in the early 70s or 80s somewhere. And I think, oh my gosh, look at, okay, so the specific topic doesn't matter. I'm just trying to give an idea of how the path of conversion. So I think, okay, how could anybody in their right mind eat meat? Don't they get it? It's destroying the environment. There is suffering for animals. You can't feed 5 billion people on meat 3 times a day. How arrogant of us in the developed West. we can get plenty of protein without meat. I am willing to sacrifice myself and learn about this and not just yell about it, but learn about it. So, you know, with the community, we learn, we educate ourselves, we practice, we try it out. We say, well, you know, I can't live without cheese or eggs, but we'll try to get farmers market eggs. Yeah, but they cost more. We're starving students. Oh, heck. Now what? You're going to a potluck with all vegetarians and you're learning. And then your mom says, come home for the weekend. And you are on a crusade about this. And she's serving roast beef. And you're thinking, oh, you know, now what? I don't want to irritate my mom. She's doing this out of love. I can't expect her to be on this crusade that I am. No, 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 no. That's unloving. So I'll go ahead and eat it and I'll feel bad about it and I'll grumble a little bit and I will not be grateful that I can be. Okay. So moving right along, get to your life where things are crazy and other things take priority and you're still kind of living this way. And then you think, okay, anything worth doing is overdoing. So now I'm going to be vegan. And then you get in this, then those folks are really hardcore. Oh. And you, when people say this, you respond with this. And if they say this, you say that. And they show all these behind the scenes stuff. And you think, oh gosh, you know what? There's human suffering in this too. And it is true too. Not that many years ago, the chicken factory, chicken processing, the women working there, many people in the meatpacking industry are low wage immigrants, people in poverty, in a high risk job, repetitive, fast, what do you call them? Things that roll along and they have sharp instruments. They get joint injuries from repetitive motions. And Purdue, the women had to wear diapers because they wouldn't give them bathroom breaks. And then you also see these things about people get numb to cruelty. And so you see these behind the scene things about the chickens were escaping from the kill thing. And so the guys were just grabbing them and smashing them against the wall and stomping on them. It kind of numbed, like who knows, anybody could do that when you're thinking, what the heck, these guys are trampling on me, flying in my face, get out of, it's a job that nobody wants to do. There's danger to it. And then we saw with COVID, the meat packers, they're all lined up passing the germs and the corporation doesn't want to cut the bottom line. Okay, so, oh my gosh, now what am I going to do? Okay, so then you try to be vegan and that is not easy. That is very hard. And so then I go online and there's this free online course called Ethics of Eating. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna take that. They're gonna give me motivation to keep down this path and boy, oh boy, I'm gonna be prepared. Okay, so they share every aspect of everything. So then you hear about, the farmer or ranchers with regenerative agriculture. Wow, they're running cattle on ground that wouldn't feed farmers. You can't grow corn on a giant prairie range, so there is restorative agriculture when you don't try to have the factory farm deal, when you're nurturing the soil, you're giving back to it. You're moving animals around. Ooh, that meat will cost more because they're putting more into it. And it's not run by giant agribusiness with giant funding. Okay, so I think I can deal with that. Or how about fruit and veggies? That's safe, right? Well, that is also, the work there is also done by migrants, immigrants, low-wage people out there in all kinds of weather with pesticides, roaming the country, living in little barracks, separated from their families. some of them at the mercy of the folks in charge. And the immediate folks in charge probably are not getting rich off of this. It's the folks ahead of that. So, there is no easy answer. The deeper I went into this idea of how to feed myself, there's just so many variables, and I can't easily point to one victim, one villain. There's a web. We're in this interconnected web of life. What happens in one area affects all of them. So Harry and I are blessed to be in a place where we can pay more for farmers markets. We can pay more for organic. We can try to give our little voice, our little vote, where I hope the culture will move. You know, try to help it move that way. You know, and if you're on certain mailing lists, you can contribute to let's label food. You know, is it GMO? Hot topic, stay away. You know, is it organic? Whatever. Is it fair trade? You know, can I support in small ways the best I can? Well, I forgot to say, culture is moving a little bit toward more diversity, the same as in nature. There are more restaurants that offer more options. You know, ethnic food, vegetarian, vegan, gluten-free, you know, life is opening up, that there are more options in all kinds of ways. So that's what we do. We can't single-handedly change the culture, and we don't even know all the moving parts. You know, we don't know, you know, moving parts of stuff. Okay. So can I just jump ahead for a second here? Okay, so Franciscans are humble, and I love you guys for helping support me to be humbled, to help find a growing edge for myself, and to find a balance, and to listen. You know, I can't say, don't trust big business, don't trust big government, they're out to get you and out for themselves. Because other people say, don't trust the guys at the bottom because they're out to scam the system. You can't trust them either. You know, there's got to be some place of harmony, that we are brothers and sisters. We all can learn from each other, not to get arrogant, to recognize ongoing learning, do what we can to the best we can, and kind of trust that other people are doing that too. We might meet people at a certain part of their life journey, you know, Dot the arrogant vegan on a crusade, and blow her off as somebody you don't want to come 10 feet near. Or you could say that's Dot on a movement and she's still moving. Okay, have mercy, have patience. This was going to be my concluding slide, but I don't know how long we want to talk and share. This is from a woman who's the minister. This was in the Tao, USA, in the fall issue. It's a great article. I totally love it. It came around as an email. It's several pages longer. Basically, we cannot solve the world's problems by ourselves. And you know what? We don't even understand the world's problems by ourselves. We might be doing something that's going to backfire or has unintended consequences. But it doesn't mean be paralyzed. Through listening and forming connections with those we meet, we can help change the world we live in, and also potentially be open to being changed, being touched, being moved by other people in the world we live in.
Excuse me, Dot.
Yeah.
We're still on that slide that says start 2001 to today. Just wanted to let you know.
Oh, heck. Oh, that is pretty interesting, isn't it? Okay, let me come out of share. I'll try to go back in. Ready? Okay. you're on, what do you see now?
Where are you in your journey?
Okay, how about this? Oh, you see this one with the steps going up?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna jump. This is what I was trying to talk about. Can you see the quote, "We cannot solve the world's problems by ourselves"?
Yes.
Okay, so let me just stop a moment so you can look at that. And also celebrate. Life can feel overly serious. Oh, we're in a culture war in our country. Oh, the country's divided. No, no, no. Okay, we see what we look for. If we're going to look for division, we will find it. If we want to look at other people and say, they are people in some part of their journey, being the way they are, because that's the way they are, and can I let them be the way they are and see them as fellow sisters and brothers in Christ and believe that there's peace and goodness in them. This, I'm talking to myself as much as anybody else, truthfully. I'm gonna jump, my mouse died, okay. Can you see this one with Pope Francis?
Yes.
Okay. So this is from Fratelli Tutti. Hey, we talked about this. Let us dream then, as a single human family, as fellow travelers, sharing the same flesh. What a choice of words, the same flesh and bone. Flesh has so many connotations. As children of the same earth, which is our common home, common humanity. Gee whiz, we don't want to destroy our common earth. We want to work together to protect it. Everybody needs clean air, clean water, healthy soil, access to clean water and clean air. It's the people at the bottom of the food chain that are suffering more than us. If we only surround ourselves by people like us, we will be totally blind to 95% of the world. I'm guessing we're in the top 5% of the world in our way of living, our standard of living. Not to make us feel guilty, but to say, to whom much is given, much will be expected. And I don't want to forget this. For some of us, living our day-to-day lives is more than enough. Our job might be more than enough. Our family situation might be more than enough. Do not ask me to do one iota more because I am hanging on for dear life by a string. I get it. I'm not in that position personally now, but I get it that any of us and plenty of other people are feeling that. A point I forgot to make earlier was, the angry marmot. If we are yelling so loudly in a way of trying to humiliate somebody or seem like we're arrogant and self-righteous, that will certainly call upon defensiveness, counterattack. Humiliating or denigrating people is one of the most powerful ways to call back anger. If a person feels threatened or misunderstood or attacked, they will become blinded by emotion. They can. Okay, I'm sorry about speaking in absolutes, but that can be an invitation, and that can tap into a deep source of anger and fear. Can also tap into a great source of fear that motivates people to put on blinders. I am in the class of people that is attacked. I am being unjustly attacked. Look at those, and then also the fringes at either end. The fringes at either end are fringes. I mean, I can't say some priests are abusive, so they all are. So write them all off. Some people in government or business are, you know, hypocrites and greedy. That doesn't mean all of them are. Some people respond to perceived injustice in an aggressive way. That doesn't mean they all do. And can I try to offer the benefit of the doubt? Back to Pope Francis, each of us bringing the richness of his or her beliefs and convictions. The world is getting more and more diversified, by choice or by not, but the world is that way. We're interconnected by the internet in our neighborhoods. My mom called me, oh my gosh, Dadiane, Muslims are moving into the neighborhood. Oh, I better lock the doors. Oh, gee whiz. Somebody else came over there, I hate to even say it, with a rag on their head. He came to the door from the telephone company. I was like, oh mom, oh my God, that is so disrespectful. How can you think that way? But she really is afraid that people are different. And she has biases because of the television that she watches, because of the media she consumes. She really lives in fear. You know, another person might say, oh, cool, what kind of restaurants are they going to bring? Yeah, I like pita or whatever. Somebody else might say, oh, wow, a chance for diversity. What can I learn from them? You know, we all have different ways of looking at the world. So each of us has his or her own voice. Brothers and sisters all. I have to figure out a new way to read some of the Psalms that talk about the two-edged sword and reaping out vengeance, because I really don't want to be a person reaping out vengeance. I would like to say, Father, forgive them. They know not what they do. Father, forgive me for being a hypocrite. Forgive me for being in the pain in the tail person at points in my life. And I probably still am a pain in the tail to some people, you know, who knows? So Amy, what does our time look like?
You still have plenty of time. No rush whatsoever.
Well, actually, I'm out of slides. This is the last slide.
Terrific. Yeah.
Can you see it with the steps going up? Okay, so my question is for us to think about together, where am I? Where are you? Can we share? Where are we in our journey of conforming our thoughts and deeds to Christ? The growing edge of conversion, not being an angry marmot. And so, is this a good time for breakout rooms?
Sure.
And as long as you want, and if we finish early, we finish early.
Okay. I'll stop recording now.